Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale. No voice? Sorry. Am I not audible?
You are audible, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Santosh Prabhuji, check your audio or rejoin again. Sorry. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatari Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Te Namaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Haripriye वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य दास ठाकुर की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्णा वेलकम एवरीवन हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा माताजी
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा माताजी
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा okay. Okay. Let's take blessings of Shri Shri Radha Govinda. All glories to Shri Shri Radha Govinda and Srila Prabhupada. So is the summary. So yesterday we covered only till 12 shlokas, right? Section 1 and section 2, part of it we covered. So we'll continue from shloka 14. Swati Mataji, you want to chant? Hare Krishna. Swati Mataji. Hare Krishna. Swati Mataji, you want to chant? No?
Mataji, continue, Mataji.
Okay.
Hare
Okay. No problem. चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्य कर्तारमव्ययम्. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am at the non-doer. So yesterday, what did we learn? So basically, Krishna started to give the transcendental knowledge about Bhagavad Gita and why one should read this without any mental speculation. It has to be accepted as it is because it is coming from the Lord Himself, right? And how this knowledge got lost, and why was there need to again tell, right? To Krishna first starts, he tells to Vivaswan, and then Vivaswan Manu, and from Manu to Ikshvaku. So 2 million years back, it came to Earth. And then Krishna says that how he reciprocates to the devotees based on the surrender, right? To the karmis, he gives through the fruitive activities, like he gives whatever they desire, and to the jnanis, they want to merge with Brahman, and Krishna fulfills that. And for the siddhis, to the mystics, right? They want some mystic power, and Krishna gives them that. And then for devotees who worship him in pure devotion, Krishna grants them the pure devotional service. So in that way we saw, and then now here Krishna is explaining about the four system, the caste system, right? Which is actually currently which is there prevailing in society. It is not the real caste system what Krishna has created. Because Krishna says here, I have made the bifurcation of this caste system based on one's karma and one guna and karma. Guna karma vibhagasha. Guna means quality. The person, what is the quality of the person? Is he having a brahmanical quality or a kshatriya quality or a vaishya quality or a shudra quality, right? So brahmanas are usually in the mode of goodness, kshatriyas in mode of passion, and vaishyas, they are a mixture of mode of passion and ignorance, and shudras, they are in the mode of ignorance. So based on that mode, one can identify which caste a person belongs to, which varna he belongs to, right? Guna, karma, and then karma, the kind of work one is doing. So based on that, Krishna had made this caste system. So in this, we can see that whatever given in Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge is universal and applicable to whole human society, right? It is not just like for only for Hindus. So this kind of nature is seen in everyone, and even if somebody, if he's born in a Muslim family, right? So Haridas Thakur was a Muslim, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made him the Acharya, right? So Namacharya, Haridas Thakur, he gave him the highest position, and he is a Vaishnava. So Vaishnava comes above Brahmanas. Okay. So Brahmanas, Prabhupada says, most of the Brahmanas are like, they should be having at least Brahman realization, but not everybody has. But and also they are only, most of them are believe in the impersonal feature of the Lord, and they think that Brahman that is the Brahman realization to be the highest, right? So the three realization, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan is the highest, but they think that is the highest. And these so Krishna has made this four guna, so four varnashramas and for this one. So it is not restricted to any particular society. So if any person who is born in a Muslim, or like we were saying about Haridas Thakur, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him the name Acharya, and also Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, actually they were born in a Saraswata Brahmin family, but due to the Muslim ruler Muhammadin, he made them the because they were working for him, they considered themselves to be the very lowest, and they were working for a Muslim king. They thought their names also were changed to Dabir Kasa and Sakar Malik, like that. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when they meet them, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he changed the name as Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says that it doesn't matter which caste you are born, irrespective of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, whoever knows the science of Krishna consciousness is to be considered the highest, right? He is the greatest devotee of the Lord. So the science of Krishna consciousness, whoever knows, who he can preach. So no need like one has to be born in certain this one. But so here we can see, and we have many examples, like there are many Kshatriya kings, and when we see like the sons of Rishabhadev. Rishabhadev is a Kshatriya king, but not necessary his son has to be king. right? His sons were Brahmanas, and the two, they were Paramahamsas. So 9 Nava Yogendras who visit King Nimi, right? We see that in which comes in Bhagavatam. So it not necessary like a Brahmana son has to be Brahmana. And Prabhupada says only if a person possesses that quality, only he can be called Brahmana. So these qualities are mentioned in 18th chapter. We are not going detail here. So 9 qualities a Brahmana has, and a Kshatriya has 7 qualities, and a Vaishya has 3, and a Shudra has just 1 quality. So these qualities should be available if one claims to be having that to claim a Brahmana or Kshatriya, right? So they should possess that quality. So so Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Krishna has made based on guna and karma. And Krishna says that I am the creator of this system, but you should know that I am the non-doer. So how is this possible? So if I have to create something, I must be the doer, right? In general, in material world. So, but then here Krishna says I am the creator, but then yet I am the non-doer and I am being unchangeable. How is it? Because Krishna directly does not involve. Even in the creation, Krishna does not involve directly. So he expands himself, right, to Mahavishnu, and then he creates the through, I mean, he expands himself to Lord Shiva, and then Durga, right? Durga Devi, so like that, I mean, he then glances to Durga. So he directly never comes in contact with material energy. So material energy is also Krishna's external energy, no? So Krishna's, there are 2 energy. One is internal potency, one is external potency. So through the external potency or the material energy, Krishna creates this. He does not directly involve. And that is the reason Krishna is beyond this. Krishna does not come under any of this caste, and also it is not not under 3 modes, because these Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra are Varnashrama system, and so they are in, so it is not the highest actually. We are, all of them are in different gunas. So but Krishna wants Arjuna, what he say in chapter 2, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. You have to raise above all these modes. So that is considered to be highest, and that is called Shuddha Sattva. And Shuddha Sattva platform is the Vaishnavas, right? So Vaishnava, pure Vaishnava, he is above Brahmana, right? Sorry. So Chaturvarnyam Maya system. So Lord Krishna does not belong to any of these classes. Why? He is a creator, because, and not a conditioned soul. So because Krishna is not a conditioned soul, we are conditioned by 3 modes. So though the soul is eternal and pure, when it comes in contact with material nature, we get conditioned by these 3 modes, and how the influence of modes depends on my association with different modes in different lives, right? And that vasana that we carry along with us from life to life. So based on that, this life, so the gunas will be, I'll be possessing certain gunas. And Varnashrama Dharma division based on guna and karma. So Krishna is the creator. And from Varnashrama Dharma, we have this 4, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And Vaishnava is higher than Brahmana. So here, Brahmana by quality is supposed to know Brahmanya. So the supreme absolute truth, but most of them approach only the impersonal Brahman. One who transcends limited knowledge and reaches knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead is a Vaishnava. Krishna consciousness includes knowledge of all different plenary expansions like Lord Rama, Narsimha. So it is not just about like all the expansions also. And it's not just only stops with the Brahman or Paramatma, but then we know in detail about how Krishna created the world and how he takes avatar in different incarnations, how he expands, what are his plenary expansions, right? How Krishna expands to Balram. So every detail we study in Bhagavatam. So Krishna, Lord Krishna and one in Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all divisions of society. So what is the purpose of this system? So because Prabhupada says, if we have got human life, but then we are more like animals if we are only following ahara, nidra, bhaya, maituna, right? So Vedas say that if we are following ahara, that is food, nidra, sleep, bhaya, that is fear. Fear means it is like fear of, uh, I mean, how do I live in this material world? So I keep on accumulating the resources or money. So that fear. So fear and maituna is sex. So these four things are commonly seen even in animals, right? So then what is the difference? So to bring us from the platform of animalistic life to human life, that is the purpose of um, Varnashrama system. So then once person come to that level, then he starts doing the activities, regulated activities mentioned in the Shastras, right? In Vedic scriptures. So regulatively each, I mean, for each of them, it is given in the Vedas. So it is like, it is, Krishna is not partial. He is very impartial and he is given, he is considered all kind of people, whatever gunas they are in, right? For everyone, there is a possibility of elevating to highest platform. And it is not required like if somebody is in ignorance or mode of ignorance, so only they have to come to passion and then they have to come to goodness like that. No, they can also elevate directly by taking into Krishna consciousness. That is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. It is not like slowly one after the other they have to take elevation, but because we have seen many examples, like can you quote me some examples from Shastras where somebody who was in gross ignorance elevated to a Brahmana or a Vaishnava level? Yes, any examples? Hare Krishna. Yes, Ravi Prabhu.
Mataji, can we say Valmiki?
Yeah, yes, very nice. So he was a hunter, na? He was a hunter, and yeah, he was killing, and very brutally he was killing. He was killing, half killing the animals. And who made him the pure devotee? Who gave him that
Narada,
knowledge?
Narada Mataji.
Narada Muni, yes. So Narada Muni gave him that transcendental knowledge and how he became an acharya also, right? He became a rishi. So it is possible. So this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Whatever ashramas, so here that is what it means here. One in Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all divisions of society. So people could purify themselves by regulating the desires. And then the another purpose is of the system is to process of purification for one whose material desires inhibits him from directly approaching Krishna, because not everybody are pure devotees. There are so many desires, material desires. So to for them what to do, so Krishna has introduced this Varnashrama system, but this is not the highest. Vedaista sarve ahameva vedyo. Krishna says that of all the Vedas, the highest is to be known. I am to be known, right? Krishna has to be known. So if one does not reach to that platform, then it is simply a waste of time, because if we will be we will never be able to come out of cycle of birth and death if we are engaged only in ritualistic activities of the Vedas. But they are meant for gradual development. So Varnashrama Dharma created by Krishna, who is the non-doer. So Vidya, Vidhi Akartaram, Akartaram, sorry. Vidhi means to know. Akartaram means, Karta means what? To do. One who does. Karta. No? Akarta means he is not a doer. So Krishna is a non-doer. He is a transcendental to three modes, though he is the creator of three modes. As a mixture of guna and karma from three modes of material nature and work associated with them. So why is it done? To avoid degradation of the society, to protect, to support, for cooperation and not discrimination. It is not like only Brahmana can go back to Godhead. No. So it is mutual coordination. So all type of people are required in society, right? So only if Brahmanas are there, I mean, the world cannot go. How will the economic development happen? That is, will be through Vaishyas only. Who will take care the leadership role? Who will take, right? There is a king required, or somebody in administration required. So everyone are required. So it is just like a limbs of a body, different parts of the body, everyone are equally important, right? Maybe one is we cannot say he is more important. So for Krishna, everybody are same, and he wants everyone to elevate, and everybody has an equal chance. By cooperating with each other, everyone can go back to Godhead. So these ashramas, not everybody can take all. Like for Brahmanas, all the ashramas are available: Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. So Brahmachari means, a person has a choice. So earlier, it used to be, because this ashrama system was made at the time of Vedic age, and those time, like a child when he's 5 years old, he would be sent to a Gurukul, and from there until 25 he become. So the Guru will see what are the qualities the child has. If he's have a Brahminical quality, then he'll be becoming a Brahmana, or he's a Kshatriya, like that. So, right. So then he'll be leading a very very austerity he will do in his Brahminical life, right? 25 years, and then he has a choice whether he can continue to be Brahmachari or he want to get into Grihasthashram. And then Vanaprastha is at the age of 50. So Vanaprastha means not being attached to the family, right? So being detached from family. And then sannyasa is completely giving up everything and taking sannyas. So ashrama for Kshatriya, Brahmachari, Grihastha, and Vanaprastha is there. For Shudras, only Grihastha. So they cannot follow all this austerity and all. So only Grihastha. And for Vaishyas, Brahmachari and Grihastha. Right? But then for Kali Yuga, sannyasa is not recommended, because it is better. Prabhupada says a good Grihastha is better than a sannyasi, because if a sannyasi, his mind is not controlled, right? If he's taken a sannyas, but his mind is dwelling on a sense object, that we see in chapter 3. So he'll be just like a pretender, no? Better than him is a Grihastha, who is taking care of his household, but then he is doing the devotional service. So that will be, so that is only recommended for Kali Yuga. And also there is no facility also, right, to go to forest and do meditation, because sannyasa means complete dependence on the Lord. So that is not possible in Kali Yuga. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha iti mam yo bijanati karma bhirna sabhadyate. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. So, though Krishna creates all kind of work, none of the work binds the Lord, because he is not like doing any leelas for getting some action, fruitive action, or he is not doing something for desiring to get something, right? He is doing out of his own will, and he is independent. And Krishna, when he comes to this material world, as Lord Krishna, when he came, he has performed in all ashramas, we can see, right? In the, like he was a Brahmana, and when he went to Sandipani Muni, and he learned the, all the Shastric knowledge, and the regarding, to learn regarding the all Kshatriya qualities, all those things that he learned therein when he went to Sandipani Muni. But then he was also a Shudra, like he took the role of a Shudra by serving Sudama, like he washed the feet of his friend, right? And also he was a charioteer for Arjuna. So that was also a very menial role for the Lord, being a Lord of the universe. He took such a menial role. We can see that. And as a Kshatriya also, he has fought. He has killed many demons, right? So he has taken all the role. And as a Vaishya in Vrindavan, when he was taking care of the cows, and so he has taken all the roles. But then it is said his position is never challenged. No one can tell that Krishna. That is why he is called Achyuta. Achyuta means he is never infallible. He can never fall down from his position, whatever role he takes, because these actions cannot bind the Lord. Some may tell, oh, Krishna did this, and that is why Krishna also has to suffer and all these things. But that is foolishness, because here Krishna directly says, clearly says here that none of it bind me, right? That they namam karmani limpanti. No work that can affect the Lord. Evam gnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaik purvataram kritam. All the liberated souls in ancient time acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty following in their footsteps. So why is Krishna saying this? Because Arjuna didn't wanted to fight. No. So Krishna is saying, so you have to perform your duty. That is as a Kshatriya. So that is why he explained all the dharmas. So based on he is in a Varnashrama dharma. So Krishna as his role. So even though liberated soul, because even Arjuna is a eternal associate, but now he is a Kshatriya king. So his duty is to fight as per Krishna's interest without desiring for any fruits. So the examples of many other kings who have done their duties as a kings, right? They didn't. There are many kings. It could be how the Rishabhadev or Prahlad Maharaj, right? They were all pure devotees, but then still they ruled. And Dhruv Maharaj, because Dhruv Maharaj once after he was very small age, at the 5 years old, when Lord gave him darshan and he was blessed. So immediately he wanted to go back to Godhead. But Krishna said, no, no, you have your responsibilities. Now go back home. You have to do your duty, take care of the kingdom, and you will rule this world. So he ruled. It was in Satyuga, and people used to live for very long years. And it is said that he lived for 35,000 years. He ruled the planet before he left. So though he was a liberated soul, they all, we have references in the history that they all followed the system. So whatever their duties, they discharged it, right? So section 3, understanding karma on the platform of Jnana. Removing reactions. Transcendental knowledge helps one to clear up philosophical doubts. So there will be a doubt, what is karma, what is not karma, right? These are the philosophical doubts that we will understand in how to understand that. Krishna will explain. Also helps to clear up karmic bank balance, burns karma. Karma is a universal law of nature. For every action, there is a reaction. Just take Newton's third law, no? For every action, there is an opposite and equal reaction. So whatever you hit a ball to a ball, it again rebounds back. So whatever you put on the right, we throw a boomerang, it comes down. So it similarly, whatever we do, good or bad action, always there is a reaction. So good action we do, and what happens? So we will get a good results. Highest, we can go to even heaven, heavenly kingdom, or higher planets. And a person when engaged in a bad karma, right, he can get into lower species of life. So Krishna speaks about also akarma here. So akarma, when a person does, right? So then there is no bondage, right? So bad karma is obviously undesirable, and Krishna explains that even good karma should be avoided. Can someone tell me why good karma should be avoided? Why is Krishna saying like that? Okay, still we have to read, but I'm just a question. Yes, Manoshi Mitra Mataji.
Mataji, because it leads to collection of karma reactions, which may lead to liberation.
Can you be a bit louder? I can. Voice is
Mataji,
very
I'm in
low.
a public place.
Okay.
You want to write the answer in the chat?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Manushi Mataji, you can unmute. I couldn't hear you properly. Okay. All karma has reactions. Okay, you put in the chat. Yeah. Yes. So yeah. So even the good karma will have reaction, means we have to take birth again. So that is the reason it's not, but much recommended. Yeah, temporary liberation. It's not even liberation. There's no liberation actually, even in good karma. There's no liberation. You have to come back because you have done something good. So you have to get back the result, no? So in next life, you will be getting all that return. So where we see some people are very rich by birth, or everything is becoming successful for them in life. They do very less. I mean, we see that uh, a similar kind of work is performed by two people. One gives the same hard work is given by two of them, but one can see very good success, the other cannot see. Why is it so? Because one has done very good karma and the other one has not done so very good karma. So that is the reason, right? So the good karma, to reap that result, again we have to take the life. So beyond good and bad is the spiritual level. So that is no action and no reaction. That is akarma. So understanding karma on the platform of Jnana, Nishkama karma. So Krishna will explain about. So the Jnana, what is the knowledge? Knowledge is to know. So the real knowledge is to know what is action, what is forbidden action, and what is inaction. So action means karma. Forbidden action means vikarma, which is karma means those action which are which is mentioned in Vedas or the scriptures for regulative gradual development of to Krishna consciousness, right? So that is action. But then forbidden action, one who is not following any scriptures, doing the activities which is forbidden. And inaction means it is akarma, which is actually action in Krishna consciousness is called inaction. So karma, action which is performed in terms of one's prescribed duties as mentioned in the revealed scriptures. So vikarma, action which is performed by the misuse of one's freedom, which direct one to the lower life. Akarma, action which free one from the cycle of birth and death. So law of nature, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So Prabhupada, when Prabhupada used to travel from one country to another country, when he has to take a flight, so he used to see when he saw many people rushing right to take flight, and early morning it was in like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock also, like a whole day people are rushing because they have to catch flight and they're on work. So actually Prabhupada felt that what are they, but for Prabhupada it was like pitiful situation. Like people are so much engrossed in bodily concept, they don't have time even for to think about beyond that, right? About soul or about the God. So there's no time. They're so much occupied. So so for Prabhupada, but the materialistic person will think that he is completely occupied. He is action. No, action means completely. He's busy. He's not even for a second. He's quiet. His mind is also occupied. Even in sleep, also he will not be having a peaceful sleep because the mind is active whole day. Even in the night, it will be active only. He cannot get a deep sleep also. So much. I mean, into Rajasic people most of the time. So for such people, it is actually they are seem to be there in action, but they're not, right? That is not real action. Action in inaction. Action in inaction. Inaction in so action in inaction means the devotee who is sitting in a temple or who is whole day, he is also not free. From morning to night, devotees are completely occupied. They have so many engagement Prabhupada has given. I mean, they have compulsorily, they have to read minimum hours, 1 or 2 hours in a day, the scriptures, and then they have to do temple duties. They have to take care of the deity worship. So many will be there. They have to do the book distribution and for the prasad. So different activities are assigned and completely occupied, and they'll be chanting for more than 2 hours. So if a materialistic person see, what does he think? They're not doing anything, simply sitting in temple and chanting. But then actually they are doing work. So that is called action in inaction. Though it may look like inaction, why it is action? because they are directly connecting with the Lord. That is a real action actually, right? So this difference one should know. What is karma, vikarma and akarma? So this is a shloka for that. Kim karma kima karmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yajnatva mokshese shubhat. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action, what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. So it's not easy to understand. Everybody can get bewildered, right? So even an intelligent person cannot understand, may not know what is really action or inaction. Okay, we'll see a story for that. So before that, one more. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action, and what inaction. So unless we know what are the things, then we don't know which to avoid, which one to do, right? So we should have understanding what is the action and what will happen, right? So because the reactions of those actions are very difficult to understand. We may think why some person is suffering in this life. So we don't know what had made him that, right? Like we see even in the King Durga, how the action, I mean, he, though it looked like a seemingly good action, he was actually donating lakhs of cows, but then one mistake and he had to take a birth like a lizard, no? So one should know properly what is action, what is inaction, and what is forbidden action. So one story is there, I think the next slide. So there was a Brahmana and a butcher. So this we will understand how the intricacies of karma is so difficult to understand how it comes. So once there was a Brahmana and there was a he was in his hermitage. Okay, Brahmana was there. He was doing some puja or something, and suddenly butcher comes, and that too he was having he was running behind a cow, and he was having a the sword, I mean the knife with him to kill the cow, right? So he was having that, and when butcher came running and he asked the Brahmana, did you see the cow? I mean, he saw the cow. I mean, cow came first. It came running inside the farm and it went inside. So the Brahmana saw that, and Brahmana saw the butcher now. So now what is Brahmana supposed to do? Okay. So it is said Brahmana should not lie. No, Shastra says Brahmana should speak the truth. Now what should Brahmana do? So what did Brahmana do? He showed. I mean, he didn't speak, but he showed in his hand, right? His hand was shown towards the where the cow went. So this butcher went behind and he caught hold of the cow and he killed it. So now what happened? So next life. So next life, since he told the truth, the Brahmana was born again as a Brahmana. Next life also. So he was a Brahmana, and once he was, it was late night. He was coming I mean, in the forest route, and he sees a house, and then he goes there. He thought like, I will rest here. So there was a house. When Mataji was there, he says that, can I sleep here outside? And she says, okay, you can sleep. So he was sleeping outside. So it was mid of the night, and the lady, she's there with her husband, and she feels that this Brahmana is very young and handsome. He's very good. So she feels she wanted to enjoy with that Brahmana. Then what does she do? She comes and tells him that my husband is sleeping. So I want to have good time with you, right? So then Brahmana says, no, you are doing very wrong thing. You have a responsibility. You are married. And he gives, as a Brahmana, he gives a very good advice to her that you should not do this. And he advises her. So she gets angry because she's in a tamasic and mode of passion and ignorance, right? So what she does, okay, I'll teach you a lesson. She thinks, and she goes inside and she kills her husband with a knife. And she screams loudly. So this Brahmana comes inside, what happened to see, and then he's crying with wound, and he tries to take out the knife, the Brahmana, And suddenly then she shouts, so she screams, help, help. So everybody, all the villagers come and gather. And then she says that this person wanted to enjoy with me, and since I didn't agree, now he has killed my husband. So then everybody got angry, and then they wanted to kill this Brahmana. So then everybody thought, okay, this Brahmana Hatya is very sinful. No, one should not kill a Brahmana. So they all villagers thought, okay, we'll not kill, but since he has committed this offense, we'll cut off his hands. Right? Say they cut off his hands. So if we see what happened, can you guess who was this Brahmana in previous life, and who was that wife from the previous life, and who was the butcher? Yeah. Any guesses? Who was the husband? Who was the husband in previous life, according to you?
The
Butcher,
butcher.
Yeah, butcher, right? Because he killed a cow, now he was killed. So who was the wife?
The cow.
Yeah, the cow, that revenge it took on him. So the cow now had taken the form of a wife, and the previous life he killed, now she killed her husband. So the Brahmana, same, because he had done offense, because he had done mistake also, because he showed the route, and he is one way, he is the responsible for the death of the cow, right? So he got his hands cut off. So this is the karma, how it karma comes. So we can never know why we are suffering in this life. It could be of previous lives also, right? So vikarmis don't follow the Vedas, risk of being degraded to lower species. Why? Because they're not following the Shastras, and there's no God consciousness, there's no regulation of duties, they're not following anything. So what will happen? Krishna will think, okay, better you don't deserve a human life, because you have got a human life, you are not valuing it, and you are anyways degrading. So why not you enjoy? Because Krishna wants everyone to enjoy. That is the desire of that species. He want to enjoy all the time. So better you be born in a lower species and enjoy the particular body, right? However the person want, he can be like that. No one questions, because for lower species, there's no question. No, if a dog is barking in the street, nobody will care much. Or if it is not, I mean, if there is a traffic signal, if the dog is not obeying, nobody will say anything. Rules are only for human beings. So Krishna will see that, okay, you are not able to follow any rules, you better be born in lower species, not appreciated by saintly people. So this defeats the purpose of human life. So this person, we see that he wants to have meat. So what will happen? Krishna will give Prabhupada says that Krishna will tell the material nature and gives a particular body that he can directly, like he will get a tiger body or a lion body, so that he can attack on animals and eat the flesh directly. Why so much hard? No, hard, because it is not made. Our body is not made for that, right? So the karmis follow the Vedas, and they are pious. So attain Svarga, bodies of, they can also get the bodies of demigods. But there's a risk. They have to return back to Matya Loka, that is this material world. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino Arjuna, right? Mamupetyatu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. So akarmis have come to platform of devotional service to Krishna. So once the he know the fruitive activity binds and means rebirth. So once one who has taken to devotional service or to Krishna, so because the devotional service itself is purifying, so he has understood that I should not engage in the fruitive activity because it will bind me. So if I'm doing more karma to go back to Svargaloka or like that, or to get some better birth, so that is also again binding. We have to come back. Shine punye martya lokam vishanti, Krishna says. So once the pious karma is over, you have to come back to martya loka. So when a devotee develops such understanding, what he does, he will engage in devotional service of the Lord. Karmanya karma yah pashyet akarmani cha karma yah sabuddhiman manusyeshu sayukta kritsna karma krit. One who sees inaction in action and action in action is intelligent among men, and he is a transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. So when one is able to understand all these things, right? What is the real action, what is action in action, and what is inaction, then he is considered the intelligent person. A devotee, though he know that, okay, though people, he doesn't mind what people think about him. Maybe people think they are not having any work, or they are very inactive. They don't have much work. We are very active, but then he is most intelligent. He knows what he's doing, and he's actually preparing himself for the next life, right? And the other people, they're only engaged, they're thinking only satisfying the bodily needs, and they're for that age only. No, what will happen? This body will go. I mean, by the end of everybody has to become Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. We have to become old and we will die. This body we have to give up. But and we are so much engaged in satisfying this bodily needs. But then who is more intelligent? Because he is engaged in devotional service, which will also come into the next life also, right? Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Whatever he is doing, it is never go waste. Krishna says this will go on with him from every life. So now this section describes qualities of a person who is in state of inaction or having no reaction to work, although performing action. So how will be a quality of such person? So everywhere we want to know, no? Even in Arjuna, in chapter 2, after Krishna gives all the dhyan, he asks, Stita pragnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava stitadi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. How does a Stita pragna behave? How does he walk? How does he sit? Right? How does he behave in material world? What is his nature? So similarly, we want to know now how a person who acts, who knows the action, inaction, and akarma, vikarma, acts in the material world. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagnidagdha karmanam tamahu panditam buddhaha. One who is understood to be in full knowledge, whose every endeavor is devoid of desire for sense gratification. He is said by sages to be worker for whom reaction of work have been burned up by the fire of perfect knowledge. So one who is understood to be in full knowledge, right? He has understood that what is his main goal of life. So it is not only engaging in sense gratification. Okay, that is only required to the extent of bodily need. We are in this world, and yes, to satisfy our bodily needs, to take care of our family, we have to be engaged in our duties. So whatever ashrama we are in, we have to do it. But that should not be the main goal of life, right? So that person, such a person knows, right? So who is in such knowledge and performs his and lives the life in such a way, for him, Krishna says that there is no bondage, there is no reaction for any work. So though he is performing all kind of work, so there is no reaction for him. He will not get any reaction for it. All his reaction will be burned up by the fire of perfect knowledge, right? So even in Brahma Samhita it is said, karmani nirdhati kintucha bhakti bhajam. So yes, yastvindra ahosva yastvindra ataven. Sorry, I should not make mistake. I'll only tell the translation. What does it say? So Lord Brahma says that even from the Indragopa, the insect, right? From the Indragopa insect to the Lord Brahma, all karmic reactions Krishna will take over when someone has surrendered to the Lord. So surrendering to Lord means obviously having the perfect knowledge, right? So when one is in right knowledge, all his whatever work he has done, the reactions are burned off. So Krishna is impartial. even to the Indragopa. Because why is Indragopa is the minute, I mean, insignificant insect, but Krishna is impartial even to that. He can take away all the karmic reaction, and that he can get a better life, even a smallest insect, right? Krishna even considers that also. So because why he become a such insect? Because of so many bad deeds, vikarma that living entity has done in previous life. That is why he has got, because we see previous shlokas which said that he will be born in a lower species. Lower species means like that only, insignificant they become, right? So, and it could be animals or that whoever comes like below human beings. So for devatas, actually, even the human beings are considered to be a lower species only, no? Because we are in this material world, and we are more suffering. We have all the kleshas, the primary suffering and secondary sufferings, right? So they feel that even human life is, they are not happy, because in their when Narada Muni was uh, he was a Gandharva, and he was cursed to become a maid servant or a human being. So that is what they curse. They cursed to become a human being. And Vidura was cursed. No, Yamraj he was cursed to become a maid son. So that's how they get cursed in the so to become a lower species. For them it is lower species, and for us lower species is animals and birds and other things. So त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलं फलासङ्गं नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः. Abandoning all attachment to the results of activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kind of undertakings. निराशीर्यत चित्तात्मा त्यक्त सर्व परिग्रहः शारीरं केवलं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्. Such a man of understanding acts with the mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions, and acts only for the bare necessities of life. Thus, working, he is not affected by sinful reaction. One more shloka I'll read. Yadruchalabha santushtah dvandvatito vimatsarah samasiddhavasiddhav cha krutvapi nibhatyate. He who is satisfied with gain, which comes of his own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, and is never entangled, although performing actions. So we see that in lives of Goswamis, right, how they were actually all the Goswamis, like Raghunath Goswami, all their big scholars, they were highly educated and were very rich, and so much money they had, but how simple life they lived. They gave up all possessions, because Krishna says here they gave up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions. How Rupa Goswami, he got a boat full of gold coins. He gave up everything for service of Lord. Like 50% he gave to the Vaishnavas and Krishna conscious movement, and 25% he gave it to relatives, and 25% he kept for self, for emergencies. So that's how he gave up. And very bare necessities. And it is said that the Goswamis, they were only the kaupina, the kaupin they were wearing, that's all, the small cloth. And then they were having, for Madhukari, they used to have the vessel that they used to keep for Madhukari, right? And then they were not even sleeping under the same tree every day, because they were afraid of getting attached. Because every day when you are there at the same place, you get some kind of attachment. So they were not even sleeping under the same tree. They didn't have houses. So they were such a austere life they were performing, because they knew Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So they know that Krishna is the only enjoyer. I am not the enjoyer. But we are still thinking that I am the enjoyer. No, I am the controller. That is why we try to control all the situation of our life, all people around us, because we want to take control of it. And that is why we are always in anxiety. But if we understand that I am not that, then only we can be happy. So, and he is satisfied with gain which comes on his own accord. So, again, Rupa Goswami example we can take. So, if it is a Mayavadi sannyasis, when the money comes, they will reject immediately. But he accepted. right? When he got boat full of gold coins, so much gold coins, he didn't reject because he knew that he can use it in the service of Lord. So anything when it is used in the service of Lord, it becomes spiritual. So we cannot, no need to reject anything. No. So he used it. So he does not reject. Who is free from duality and does not envy. They're not envious, and a person is not out of duality. Duality means what? To hate someone or to being attached to something. So that is duality. है ना? Yeah. And who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled. Although so whatever we see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says, right, to Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, though they were working for the Muslim ruler, right, he says that you have to perform in such a way, like if a married girl, she's having a paramour, like she had a lover during her college days and she got married. So, but then she's always, her thought is about lover in her mind, but then she performs her duties very well in her house so that nobody gets a doubt. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the example of that, saying that because they were thinking, oh Lord, now we have got your association, now how should we work? They wanted to give up all that responsibility and come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, so still we have to wait for right time. You cannot come like that. So you have to serve there. So have in heart only Krishna, like that girl, right? So, but then you have to give your work should be 100%. They should not get doubt that you are doing something else or you are doing Krishna conscious work and you are going to leave the job. The doubt should not arise. So such people, though they are doing whatever performing work, they are not never entangled. So this is for on Goswamis, Shad Goswami Ashtakam. This is written by Srinivas Acharya, one of the acharyas in our sampradaya, great acharya. त्यक्त्वा तु नमशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणिं सदा तुच्छभात् भूत्वा दीनगणेशकौ करुणया कौपीनकन्ताश्रितौ गोपी भावरसात् रसामृताप्तिलहरी कल्लोलमग्नौ मुहुर् वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ. So I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who kicked off all association of aristocracy as insignificant. Sada Tuchavat means insignificant for them. They left all their degrees. They had very high position as a minister. They gave everything. They kicked off everything for Krishna in order to deliver the poor and poor conditioned soul, because they are already liberated. No, they are from spiritual world. They are all manjaris. They are sakis of Radharani. But why did they do all this? Because they have to write scriptures, and all this knowledge, how are we getting from Prabhupada, from purports? So everything because of their hard work, right? If they had not done that, we would not be getting all the knowledge. So they accepted loin cloths, treating themselves as mendicants, but they are always merged in the ecstatic ocean of Gopi's love for Krishna and bathe always and repeatedly in the waves of that ocean. Gata sangasya muktasya jnanavastita chetasaha yajna yacharata karma samagram praviliyate. The work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence. Brahmarpanam brahmahavi brahmagnau brahmanahutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that is offered is of the same spiritual nature. So now there are different ways, right? So So this is also again a quality of a person, right? This till here it ends about the quality of a person who knows the differentiation between karma, akarma, and vikarma. So he'll be attached to the modes of, yeah, Digant Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Yes.
Yeah, Mataji, this 4.24, it's a food prayer of many Indians. So I'll appreciate if you can say that.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know much about that. You can share,
Yeah,
Prabhu. You can both explain.
it's by two other organizations, two big religious organizations. I'll not compare which is big, ISKCON or the other two, but both of them use this. One organization uses 4.24, and there's another one in another chapter that I'll tell you when it comes. But one uses this as a food prayer. I mean, I've been doing this for the last 45 years. I've
Wow.
been
Very good.
practicing.
So you say this every day?
Yeah. Just before taking food, any food that I take, the first thing that comes is this.
Yeah, very nice. So this is also one of the sacrifice. So Krishna says there are many sacrifices, right? So he explains everything is a sacrifice to Lord. So everything is like different rivers joining the ocean. So everybody are endeavoring to reach Krishna. So different ways. So we'll see. So a person who is fully absorbed in Krishna conscious is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which consummation is absolute and that which is offered is the same spiritual nature. So we'll understand in more detail. So working on one's own account and working on God's account. So there's a Prabhupada gives an example. So there's a cashier in the bank, right? So he's working on behalf of bank and every day he sees a lot of money, right? So but he cannot be interested in that. He cannot get attached because it does not belong to him, right? So he when he acts on the behalf of bank, he is respected. But when if he steals that, then he is arrested. So kim karma, kima karmeti. He is doing the same thing, but then he should not get attached. So same way, a soldier, he who is working for in an army and he kills the enemy side, right? So he is killing a enemy, then he'll be awarded Paramveer Chakra, right? So, but when if a same person, the soldier, if he's killing a neighbor, thinking that I have the right, then what happens? He's arrested. So we can only act. So as per we have limited freedom, right? So only whatever the freedom we have based on the ashramas that we can act, and one should not uh, uh, so if we take into wrong route which is not mentioned in the scripture, obviously for that we will have to get the punishment. So how a soldier, though he may be a soldier, he cannot make misuse of his work. I mean, he cannot put his uniform and he's go to his neighbor and he can shoot him. No, he will be put in bar, behind bars, right? And Arjuna fighting for Dharma Yuddha on behalf of God. So here we can see example. Both of them are fighting. Arjuna is also fighting, right? He is killing there, and even Duryodhana is also doing the killing. But one is on dharma, one is adharma. Why? Because Duryodhana is doing only for his selfish satisfaction, his sense gratification, right? He is but Arjuna is doing not for his own sense gratification. Actually, Arjuna didn't wanted to fight for his own sense gratification. He denied killing, but Krishna wanted him to fight. So he is only doing for satisfaction of Lord. So he became glorious. No, that's how. When what will happen if we work for our own self-interest, and the difference between acting for Krishna and acting for ourselves. No, so unwinding and winding spool of a tape recorder. Sorry, actually, this. I don't get this actually. I'll come back. Okay, sacrifices lead to transcendental knowledge. Fruits of all degrees of Vedic sacrifices is transcendental knowledge. It leads to liberation and ultimately to pure devotional service. So this is the fruit, no? Like how the Bhagavatam is the is said to be the fruit of all the Vedas. So similarly, all the fruit of all Vedic sacrifices is the transcendental knowledge. So what is the purpose of doing all these sacrifices, people? So to be established in that platform of transcendental knowledge, and which will take us to devotional service. Okay, so we can see so these different shlokas explain about different sacrifices which lead to transcendental knowledge. So 4.25, through demigod worship, one can reach, right? Sacrifices into Brahman, and then hearing process and senses in the fire of mind, mental control, the unadulterated, the brahmacharis. Because brahmacharis, they have to control their senses. No? They are not taking into grihasthashrama, and the controlling of senses itself is a sacrifice for them, right? And object of senses in the fire of senses, regulated grihasthas. So even grihasthas also, Prabhupada says that senses can be used only for begetting a Krishna conscious child. So there should be a regulation even in the regulated. It should be even for grihasthas also. So that is also a kind of a sacrifice for grihasthas. So Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali Yoga system. So what does it do? So offers a function of all senses of the life breath as oblations into the fire of controlled mind. So the person is controlling his mind by controlling the breath. No, he's so much endeavor is required. So he is controlling the life breath, and it is said that the minimum number of breath we take, like by controlling the so many, because our life is defined by number of breaths we take. So what do? These yogis, they control their life breath. So if you extend the duration of your breathing, so many years you can live. So Dhruv Maharaj did that. When he was doing that, we see in the when we read in Bhagavatam. So almost like 12 days, he took only one breath. And next 12 day, he will leave the breath. So it was said like all devatas, all the plants, animals, everybody were felt so suffocating on. They all went to devatas to say like, they all thought like some demon has come and he's controlling the nature. And then Lord Vishnu tells them that, no, don't worry, he's my devotee, right? So then Krishna, the Lord goes there to deliver Dhruv Maharaj, right? So in that way, by controlling the senses and of the life breath also, that is also a kind of sacrifice, because his yogi is controlling his mind. So and the goal is to merging into existence of absolute. So this is for the Mayavadis, right? They want to merge in absolute. And the charity, Dravya Maya Yagna. So basically, the charities, different charities people do in the material world also. So it could be the opening of the orphanages, or giving in the food charity, or different kind of all these charitable institution, old age home. Yeah, you can see here. So all this comes under Dravya Yagna. So that is also a kind of sacrifice. So austerity, Tapo Maya Yagna. Example, Chaturmasya and Chandrayana. So doing the austerity, because in those months people will have very limited food. There are restrictions of many food items, right? So much of austerity. So that is also kind of yagna. And yoga yagna, sacrifice for a certain perfection in material world. Example, Patanjali system for merging into existence into absolute. Hatha yoga or Ashtanga yoga for particular perfections. And visiting a holy pilgrimage, that is also a sacrifice. Because Krishna rewards everything for all this. There's a point. So study of scripture, Swadhyaya it is called. So that is also a yagna of reading Upanishad, Vedanta Sutra, or reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, right? Sankhya philosophy. So all these is also a yagna, Hatha Yoga and Pranayama. So these are different sacrifices which Krishna explains from 25 to 29. So this is the same thing. And just go. So material loop, happiness without sacrifice, what will happen? We are in a if we are in ignorance, right? And we commit sinful life. So we without no knowledge, we don't know what is the right thing to do, because we don't have access to, I mean, we are not open to the scriptures, to read scriptures. Then the sinful life we will be doing. And then because of that, we will always come into this material world and material existence. So all sacrifices must be performed with the knowledge of their purpose and goal. So Krishna says that it is good that you do sacrifice, but with knowledge when you do, when you know the purpose of why you are doing that sacrifice, that is more good. So the even chanting of Hare Krishna mantra is a sacrifice for Kali Yuga. No, Krishna says, Yagnanam Japa Yagnosmi. I am the Yagna of Japa in Kali Yuga. So Harinama, 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 Harinama eva Kevalam, right? So we have to chant in the Kali Yuga, that is the main sacrifice. And with knowledge we do. We know like what is it, why do we chant Hare Krishna mantra? Right? Why do we chant Hare Krishna mantra? Any answers? What is the reason? Why do we chant? Okay, I think all of you are chanting. Okay, tell me some reasons. Why do you, what is the reason? Yes,
In
Digan
Kali
Prabhu
Yuga,
says,
it is said to be
purification of
the.
soul. Yeah, Ravi Prabhu.
In Kali Yuga, it is supposed to be this highest sacrifice.
Yeah,
like
okay.
yajna.
You know that this is the mantra we have to chant for Kali Yuga, so you chant. Okay, nice. So Digan Prabhu says for purification of the soul. Yeah, from to stress. Sanjay Prabhu says to be stress free. Yes, others. Yeshomati Mataji, yeah, to be at peace with ourselves. Okay. So there are different things. So we need to know the real purpose. So okay, who knows the real meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra? What does it mean? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What is the meaning of that? What are we saying actually when you're chanting? Actually, we are communicating. It is a communication. We are establishing a relationship with the Lord, right? We have now forgot the relationship. We are establishing. And what are you saying to Krishna? Taking name of Lord Krishna various time, okay? Okay. So basically, yeah, Angel Mataji.
We are calling out the energies of Krishna and Radha. Radha.
Yeah. So Hare means Krishna's energy. We are saying Hare Krishna means we are saying, oh, energy, internal potency of the Lord. Like, oh, Radharani, please engage me in the service of Lord. So that is what we are saying. So we are chanting for the service of Lord. Why we want service? Because only through service we can get purified. No, I mean so Krishna says that he manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishasi yuktvaimam atmanam matparayanaha. So always become my devotee, worship me. So that is why we ask Radharani. So it is praying Radharani that to engage me in service of love. So we should know whatever we are doing, we should know what is the, we should have a proper knowledge of it. So all these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reaction. So what is the benefit? This is the benefit. So when we know that, we get cleansed of all the sinful reaction, and having tasted the nectar of results of sacrifice, they advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere. Nayam lokostya agnasya kutonya kuru sattama. I think it's half shloka. Why is it come like this? I think this is Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Shraddhavan labhate. Is it Shraddhavan or can someone tell me what is 4.3? Read from the book. Have you, any of you have access to the book with you?
Yes, Mataji, which one you want? 4.30, 4.31?
Yeah, 4.30. Can you read, Prabhu?
Sarve pite yajna vido yajna sapita. No, I'm not good in Sanskrit.
Okay. Yeah, Santosh
Yajna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, please.
Sarve api ete yajnavido yajnash Yajnasya pita kalmasha
Kalmashaha.
Shishtamrita Bhujo Yanti Brahma Sanatanam.
Okay, and next one.
Next one.
This is so.
It is Nayam Lokostya
Is
Yajnasya.
it starts with Nayam only? Does
Yes,
it start
Mataji,
with
it is.
Nayam only?
Yes.
I
It's
thought
only
something
two.
else will come. Only two lines, is it?
Yes, last
Yeah, 2 lines. Kuru Sattama.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking some 4 lines should be there. I thought maybe 2 lines are not there. Yeah. So here Krishna is saying what will happen if somebody does the sacrifice, what will be his fate, right? What will be his destination? So that person, he advances towards spiritual knowledge. But then who does not accept this scriptures or does as per his own right? I mean, he does not want to follow the Vedas. And so what will happen to that person? So Krishna says, oh best of Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of next? So that person cannot be happy in this life only, so what to speak of next life? No, it's impossible. So Nayam Lokosti Ayagnasya, so one who does not do sacrifice, he cannot live happily even in this life nor in next life. All these different kind of sacrifices are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different type of work. Knowing them as such, you will become liberated. So even the knowing of this knowledge, understanding this can make one liberated. So much of Shruti Palana by reading Bhagavad Gita. So, O chastiser of enemy, the sacrifices performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possession. After all, O son of Pruta, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. Because everything is towards Krishna, but not everything is very pure. It will take time because the sacrifices which Vedas says for materialistic achievements or gaining something material, so those things is not highest. But then it is also one day why they do that. So slowly they will understand and they will get purified and they will slowly leave the sense gratification and take the pure devotional service. Even the jnanis also, when they come, how this happen? When they come in association with the pure devotees, they can change. So the last section, conclusion. How to achieve transcendental knowledge? The fruit of transcendental knowledge. Who can successfully achieve transcendental knowledge? Symptoms of one who has successfully applied transcendental knowledge to work. Conclusion. The famous shloka. So how one should approach a spiritual master. Tadvitti pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So who is a spiritual master? He should be having very well, he should be well versed in the knowledge of scriptures. So that is why Prabhupada named Bhakti Vedanta. Anta. Vedanta means Anta, end of Vedas. So he has realized the knowledge. And not only just, he should have realized this knowledge by arguments and conclusion. Right? The Shastra says the spiritual master realizes the knowledge with the conclusions, and when he is put into argument with others, he is able to establish his conclusion. Right? That capacity he should have. So Prabhupada had that capacity. Wherever he went to the West, he was able to defeat everyone, right? So how else, like even he could go to MIT university, right? And then from there he was so bold enough when they showed him all the departments. He asked about where is the soul department, right? So they have put like University of Education. Prabhupada said, then they said of the soul, not soul. Prabhupada said, is there a department which shows difference between a dead body and a living body? They said no. Then he said, please remove the board, the University of Education, right? So you should be, and they were shocked. So he was so bold, and because he know everything, Prabhupada had realized that knowledge, he was able to speak the truth. Prabhupada openly said that it's not possible for somebody to go to moon. It may be discovered after many years, because that's what science does. So many years back, we say something, right? And we had in today a Bhakti Shastri class similar to this. Ishopanishad class was happening, and where we were seeing like many years back when people spoke that, I mean, there were no talking in the movies that time, right? There were no talk, like silent movies in 18th century. So then somebody commented that actors to speak in movies, who is going to watch such movie? Now it is like a fun, no? We can't even imagine a movie without talk. Nobody would go now, I think, without there is a no talk. So there was some statement, because those time movies means without speak, only the action. And even Bill Gates, he said initially when that time that 641 KB, the data, right? That is enough for one person, right? So now we can't imagine that. I mean, we have mobiles which is having 64 GB data, and that time he said that that's simple, that is enough. So how? Because it keeps changing. The material knowledge is not same. The demands and it changes, right? It is not the same. So like that, but the knowledge that we get from Krishna or the devotee, it is pure knowledge, and it is always there. I mean, it is not mental concoction. It is not change. It's always truth. Because scientists, they come to some conclusion by they observe something, and then they come to some conclusion, they make some theories that will hold good for some time, and after some time it go wrong. Like famous example of a cow dung. Cow dung, everybody, we know in Vedic time that it is pure, because people can think that is a shit, cow shit, right? It's a like even 50 years back, when Britishers, they said many years back, I don't know exactly, so they said that these Indians are so dirty, like I mean, they're touching the cow shit, right? Because even in houses they used to put that in front of the house, we used to clean, no, by cow dung and these things. So they said like that, but then after they did 50 years of research, and then they found that that is really good. So Prabhupada says that's like foolish people. They waste so much of time and money, and then they say, why do all that circus? No, you just accept the Shastras as it is. So for that, we need a bona fide spiritual master. Only he is able to give us the real knowledge. So directly take it. There is no discussion on this. We have to accept this as conclusion, and also submissively, not like a it is not like questioning or doubting way one should understand. Very submissively, like how Arjuna understood. In that way, we have to understand Krishna. Okay, because they have seen the truth. So what are the rewards obtained of rewards of transcendental knowledge obtained from spiritual master? Will obtain knowledge and realization that all living entities are part of Brahman. With such vision, one will never fall into illusion. Will cross over the ocean of miseries, even if you are most sinful of all sinners. Because even Krishna says, Apichet suduracharaha bhajante mam ananya bhak sadhu reva samantavya samyak vevasito isaha. So because the person is situated in a right platform, he should be considered as a devotee, right? So by knowledge of self and super soul and their relationship, one burns all sinful reaction, achieves self-realization as a mature fruit of all mysticism, and finally gets devotional service. So who can achieve knowledge? One who has faith can acquire transcendental knowledge. So Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Krishna says that only who is having faith in Krishna can attain this transcendental knowledge, and one is free of doubt. Tasmat agnana sambhutam hristam gnana sinatmanaha chitvainam samshayam yogam atishto tishta bharata. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight. So there should not be any doubt in the transcendental knowledge. So remove all your doubt, and so armed with yoga, you have to fight. O Bharata, stand and fight. No sinful reaction can affect one who performs duties with transcendental knowledge. So even just like how Lord Hanuman, he burned the Lanka, but there was no sin for him, right? So there's no sin when they are doing on a platform of bhakti or for Krishna. There's no sin. Slash with knowledge all doubts born of ignorance. So you have to fight. Don't think that killing will take you to hell or what. So no sinful reaction, right? Is the chapter summary. Knowledge about Krishna transcendental, evam parampara praptam. Krishna is the goal of all paths and the creator of Varnashrama system. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. Karma yoga, karmano hi api bodhavyam. Sacrifices lead to transcendental knowledge, jnana yagna parantapa. Summary of transcendental knowledge, tadvidhi pranipatena. This we come to end. Hare Krishna. Any doubts with today's section you may ask. Thank you. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा एवरीवन। हरे कृष्णा
माताजी।
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा माताजी।
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, any questions you have, or was it clear?
Yes, it was clear.
Clear.
Mataji, please, Mataji, post the attendance link. You shared it to me. So please share it again.
Okay, yeah, I shared. Oh, I shared it to you, is it? Okay. Yeah. How did it go to you? Oh, I didn't observe that. Okay. It's already late, I think. So if there are no questions, then we can close. See you all. Okay, next week there's no class because I invite you all for Rath Yatra. I don't know how any of you are coming from here. So please do join for Rath Yatra and soft temple opening on 22nd and 23rd of this month. Okay, still you have time, you can book your tickets. And yeah, please do join. So next week there won't be class. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, we can chant 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you,
Please
Mataji.
do complete your quiz. Okay, and you have more time, you can read. Please do complete your reading till 4th chapters. Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna. And be a part of Bhakti Vriksha group, please. Okay. Tuesday and this Tuesday you can join. We'll post. Santosh Prabhu, please post the link today in the group for Tuesday and Thursday. You can join. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Mataji.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Hare Krishna.